Sailing yacht Angantyr was completed in 1964 at the Abiking and Rasmussen shipyard in northern Germany. She's a very special boat constructed out of Corten steel, similar to stainless steel. She's also a centerboard boat, so the vessel can go anywhere where there's less than 6 inches of ice and more than 6 feet of water. She is very special. I hope you'll agree with me. Hi, my name's Eric. I'm the owner of Angantyr. I've had the boat about 13 years, and I'd like to welcome you aboard and show you around a little bit. This is one of my favorite positions on the boat, the cockpit. You can see that we have a very classic Wilford Wright compass that's rebuilt by the manufacturer. When I called over and spoke to them, I spoke to the grandson of the owner, and it was his grandfather that built this compass. It's been completely rebuilt, swung by a professional with a current deviation card. Steering station's back here. Depending on whether you're maneuvering in dock or underway at sea, you can sit high on the binnacle or sit low on the settee. Steering is hydraulic with a power assist pump, and the steering is effortless. It's one finger steering. The throttle control is here, the bow thruster control is here, the navigation instruments are overhead, the engine instruments are overhead. So at this point in the boat, you have complete control over all the systems. We have a large main sheet winch. We have two large jib winches back here. Everything is controlled right from where you sit. Okay, let's go forward and have a look down below. So as we come down the companionway and go forward, the first thing that you encounter is the navigation station. All the navigation instruments, the battery condition indicators, the autopilot controls, and the digital display for the engine are all conveniently located. A speaker selection switch for the 4 sets of speakers aboard, and the control head for the stereo. The 300-watt power amplifier is located inside in the back of the hanging locker. The sound fidelity is excellent. I tend to use this little pocket here for people to connect their smartphones, because everybody wants to play their own music, and what they can do is just plug in their smartphone, set it to play, put it in here, and then play it through the system, and that way everybody gets to play their own music. As we move forward in the vessel, there is the power control. There's the direct current side, and there's the alternating current side. So all the breakers are here and conveniently located, so that if there's an issue or you're switching things on or off, like the windlass or the oven, things of that nature, can all be done here. And then also on the starboard side is the utility room. This is where the air conditioning units are, and the manifold for fresh water. The through hulls cutoff for the bilge pumps are all located conveniently here in the utility room, and there's a door that swings closed to block it from sight. So as we move forward in the vessel, we're now in the salon. The mast is stepped on the keel. Very large dining table here. You can feed a full crew all at one time. Everybody has a good time here. Very comfortable seats. This settee area makes into a double bed, and so for night when the crews is asleep, it's very comfortable. I have several people here that's their favorite bunk on the boat. On the starboard side of the boat, we have a cocktail area. This table is removable, and then these cushions fold down, and this makes into a double bed. Very comfortable accommodation here. It also gets used a lot because of the large screen TV. On the port side of the boat, we have some controls and instrumentation. We have the tank gauge, which is used to easily monitor the two 250-gallon fuel tanks, and also the 350-gallon water tank. In addition, we have the fuel management manifold, a complete set of redundant strainers, redundant pumps, and redundant Racor filters that you can easily see while underway and check and service while underway. On the port side, we have the Splendid combination washer dryer. This gets used a lot. It works really well. Doesn't take up too much space. It is anchored with 4 heavy-duty turnbuckles, so it is very carefully mounted. There are 3 battery systems on board, 2 12-volt battery systems and 1 24-volt battery system. The 24-volt batteries are located here. They're used to power the 3500-watt inverter, which sits next to the combination washer dryer, and it is also used to power the Vetus bow thruster. Forward section now of the salon, again, you have this generous settee that seats a lot of people. We have a smaller TV mounted here in the corner. This is connected to the satellite dish for DirecTV. So if you want to watch news or a ball game underway, you can do that easily. Overhead in the salon area is a beautiful butterfly hatch with a very ingenious mechanism to open and adjust the hatches. This is the crew's quarters. It's 2 bunk beds with a large hanging locker space, and then there's also a chest of drawers and mirror located in the aft section of the Angantyr's galley is located forward of the salon and crew's quarters. It has 2 large, deep stainless steel sinks, and everything is conveniently located for easy meal preparation, especially convenient in a seaway. The coffee maker and the microwave are powered by the 3500-watt inverter, so crew can make hot coffee and hot popcorn underway without having to start the generator. They are 2 large refrigeration trunks. The refrigeration system is separate for each of the 2 refrigeration trunks, so it's redundant. There's a fan that circulates the air between the 2. So you can lose one entire refrigeration unit and still not have your food spoil. There are temperature indicators for either side, so you can see the status of what's going on inside your refrigeration units without having to open them up. Okay, now we're in the very forward part of the boat, in the V-berth. On the port side of the V-berth is a utility area where the scuba dive compressor is located. That's an electric dive compressor. And then also a 600-gallon per day water maker. Also located in the V-berth area on the starboard side is a single bunk for a crew person with Navy-style storage underneath. Let's go back aft to the companionway area and have a look at the engine and head. As you come down the companionway, you're actually standing on the engine space. There's a brand new Volvo D4 180 horsepower engine located here. It has less than 500 hours on the engine. It is connected to a large thrust bearing, and so the engine is mounted on soft motor mounts, and what that does is that allows the engine to run without coupling vibration into the hull of the boat, meaning that when it's running, it's very quiet. Angantyr is equipped with a Northern Lights 15 kilowatt generator, which means that it has the same capacity as the 50 amp shore power. Anything you do with shore power, you can do with the generator. As you come down the companionway on the port side of the boat is where the head's located. It's an electric flush head with freshwater flush and a sink, and then also the shower area here, which is in the shape of a tub. I don't know that I've ever taken a bath in here at the tub, but it is useful for when you're trying to shower in a seaway. You can just sit down on the tub step and do a Navy style shower. Port side, all the way aft, is the master stateroom. There's a nice leather settee that surrounds the queen size bunk, and the queen size bunk is here. There are two children's size bunk areas on either side. The individual that had Angantyr built, Jim Crawford, raised his two sons here, and this was their original bunk area. There's plenty of storage in large pull-out drawers. There's also two interesting pull-out areas here that can be used for storage or hanging items, and then plenty of storage here for small clothing items. Also located in the master stateroom is the deep freezer. So this is 3.5 cubic foot deep freeze. This is where the ice and the beef and frozen vegetables are kept. All of the systems on Angantyr have been documented in a set of prints called the as-built prints. So each of the systems that I've described here are documented so that they can be repaired and maintained. There's also a full set of instructions for the startup and shutdown of each of the pieces of machinery that I've described. Okay, we're back on deck now, and we're going to walk forward across the cabin top. This little hose is actually part of a catchment system so that you can catch rainwater on the hardtop, capture it, and collect it through this tube. So if you're traveling the South Pacific, for example, and you're not wanting to use the water maker, you can capture rainwater. Two large bell mounts for ventilation. There are two life rafts on Angantyr. One is a 6-person life raft in a valise, and another Viking life raft, 6-person, in a automatically deployable hard case. This is the butterfly hatch that you saw from below. There's plenty of storage here for boat hooks and things of that nature. There's a 12-foot Carib dinghy with a 9.9 horsepower motor that's included with the boat. There are two stand-up paddle boards with carbon fiber paddles included with the boat. One of the things that's been given a lot of attention on Angantyr is the ground tackle. I'm especially proud of this. The ideal windlass was removed from the boat and sent back to the factory and completely remanufactured inside. All new gears, all new bearings. There's 350 feet of galvanized steel chain rod and a Rockna 110 anchor. That's the largest anchor that Rockna makes. The ground tackle system works excellent and is very reliable. You can see here that there are two anchor snubbers, and this is used to keep both anchors tight and secure so that when the boat's moving through a seaway and you take a wave over the front of the boat, the anchors don't move around. Thank you for letting me tell you a little bit about sailing yacht Angantyr. Your time is very much appreciated. If you'd like to know more information, there's a site on Facebook called Angantyr Amigos, or feel free to contact Bill Peterson at Denison Yacht Sales.